Welcome back to Tom's Real Food Podcast 2026. Today's sponsor, Keto Clean Eating 2026. Also Tommy Spice. Spice up your life with Tommy Spice. Every Saturday, Meg's Mysteries, great stories. And also every Sunday, the Sunday Dinner Chef. Let's go to the podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back. Tom Garver, the Keto Cook. Today on Tom's Real Food Podcast, we're going to talk about sauces. Now, what do I mean by sauces? Well, keto-friendly sauces. No sugar, no high carbs. And now it's barbecue season. You know, everybody's out there. I mean, it's hot out here in Vegas. But you go outside every once in a while and you can smell them pits rolling around out here. And a lot of big barbecue people out here in Las Vegas. So, I've been talking with a few people. You know who you are. Ask me about different sauces. How do I make different sauces for my keto lifestyle and stuff? Well, the whole idea is you got to get away from the sugar. Barbecue sauce has changed. From most of these pit masters from back in the day, they would use mop sauces. For instance, in Texas, it was basically with the different rubs and stuff that they would put on it. Some of them would do some mop sauces on top just to keep them moist and keep the juices flowing and stuff. Carolina style. Now, a couple weeks ago, I made a video about Carolina barbecue sauce. Now, you call it barbecue sauce because basically that's what it's for, but the meaning is different. And I did have a couple people that watched it, made the sauce, and you could see that they didn't care for it. But here's the thing: we are so addicted to sugar. We are so inclined to have that sweet tooth when it comes to the barbecue. Now, if you go back in time, and that's the furthest thing from the truth, but there is sweeteners in it. So back in the day, when they would be making barbecue sauce, molasses would be involved, brown sugar, and then some other stuff that would bring that sweetness to it. Because after all, I mean, if you're using a vinegar-based sauce and also using some peppers and hot peppers and stuff in it, it can have a little bite to it. But here's what you got to look for. You can make these sauces, but it's usually as a mop sauce. So it's easy for putting on to the meat itself. So I got a couple videos that I sort of put together that I'm going to go through right now, and these are all different types of sauces that I make. Pay attention to some of the different ingredients. No sugar. It's all natural ingredients between peppers, onions, a little bit of seasoning here and there, but it's pretty basic. So let's go there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. Enjoy your stay at beautiful Las Vegas, and thank you again for flying Keto Airlines. Now, as you can see, I got a crock pot working here. I got some chuck roast in there that I cut a little bit thinner. Very windy outside. I was going to smoke them today, but it's so windy out. I mean, I just can't keep the temperatures right with that kind of wind. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be adding in one small Vidalia onion into this mix. Now I'm also going to be taking, some garlic. You already got the onion in there. A little bit of garlic. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see right here, but these little peppers right here were inside the red peppers. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them into the mix. Not going to hurt. And I have some Anaheim and also a little thin slice of poblano. All right, I'm going to mix this up. It looks good. Looks really good. Okay. It's a little chunky. I'm going to mix it up a little bit more. But also what I'm going to be adding into it is some, let me get this, apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. I'm going to add a tablespoon. All right. Yes. One more drive around the block should do it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now you can make this raw, just with the tomatillos. All right. I like it this way. Let's give it a little taste. I can guarantee you one thing: this is not going to last long. No matter how hard we try to keep things, for a couple days, this is not going to last. All right, let me get this put up into another container, and I'm going to start making my red sauce. All right, now just kind of spin this around a little bit. Try to incorporate it. Now it's not too chunky. I mean, it's nice. It actually has the consistency a little bit of applesauce. Yeah. So this I'm putting into a stainless steel metal bowl, as you can see. This is going to get covered, and this is going to go into the refrigerator, and then we're going to try to put it in smaller containers so we can use it. Now, the reason why I put the vinegar in it will make it shelf stable a little bit longer, and I hate using that word shelf stable, but it can keep it a little bit longer in the refrigerator with the vinegar in it. Put in. So now, you know what? I better put the blade in now before I get too carried away. Okay. Now, for more flavor, I'm putting in some poblanos. Boy, if I could talk, I'd be worth a lot of money. These are the little jokers there. Some of that there. These are some Anaheims. Now, you know what? I backed off a little bit of getting hotter peppers. And put a couple. I have 3 tomatoes in here. I'm going to put these in. Now I'm going to get this going first. I'm going to add a little of the olive oil that came with it. Okay, there it is right there. That's the consistency that I'm looking for. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to thin this out a little later on with either some chicken stock or some beef stock, whatever I'm going to be using this for. Okay, I will thin it out a little bit more. Okay, or just cook this down. Now don't forget, now this is already cooked. All right, so this is going to get portioned out, probably put in a freezer bag and stored for future use, again, if it lasts long. I'm going to give it a little taste. Here I'm going to add the guajillos, okay, along with the red bell pepper that we roasted. Also poblano, also the Anaheims, and some of Mrs. J's serranos, okay, in the sauce. And I tell you what, they're off the charts good. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of sauce in here. I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to blend these up. All right, here is my pepper sauce. Now this consists of red bell pepper, okay, that's been roasted, Anaheim peppers, poblanos that were roasted, garlic, onion, okay, and also I rehydrated some guajillos. Now just look at the color difference. Look how much darker, much richer this is. Now, it adds a little bit of that smoky flavor to it. Wow, wow, wow. Got a little heat to her. I'm not going to lie. Got a little bit of heat. But nothing overwhelming. I mean, something that Marie would be able to handle, or somebody else. This is going to pair well with some smoked brisket or smoked chuck. Definitely my go-to now from now on. Instead of barbecue sauce, this is my go-to right here on spare ribs. Also pulled pork. Yep, my new go-to. So you can see the difference. Now I'm just going to spin this into the mix. This is going to get chilled, put into the refrigerator, covered naturally. And then this will get bagged up. Now, again, in the crock pot, like I said earlier, very windy out. I was going to smoke some from small thin chuck roast. I was going to smoke up, but I got it in the crock pot. Now, there again, like I said, I'm not a fan, but I'm coming around to it because you know why? Nice, easy, quick, and this is going to be part of it. Okay. A few more last ingredients before this gets wrapped up. Probably going to take 2 tablespoons of my oregano, the Mexican oregano. I'm going to bust this up in here. Now, there you have it. Boy, I tell you, the aroma. Here, smell. Smells good, doesn't it? All right. Okay, meat's out of the crock pot, and I got to tell you, it is tender. Now, 9 times out of 10, a lot of times this will come out. Is it juicy? No, it can turn out to be pretty dry. Okay, so I mean it's okay, but this is why I make sauce. Okay, so now from the drippings from the meat or from the juices that came out. Now what I did was I went ahead and I put a little bit of my pepper sauce in. I'm going to put a little bit of scoop in it. Now I'm just going to let this get nice and warm. I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to slice this meat back down again. I'm going to slice it down. I'm going to put back in so the meat sort of rehydrates, make it a little bit more juicier. I mean, it's got a great taste to it. Well, like I said, it is very, very dry. There's no juice on the board whatsoever. So I'm just going to slice this up. That's why I make the sauce. I'm going to put it back in, keep the sauce nice and hot, and this is going to turn out great. And by the way, this was my downfall, sneaking stuff like tacos. Now that chuck right there, that was dry as a bone. Now I actually shallow cooked that in a crock pot. And like I said in that part of the video, I'm not a big fan of the crock pot because if you're not careful, it will dry out the meat. So that's why I like to do stuff in the Dutch oven. It gives you more of the pay attention to the meat side of it so it doesn't dry out. But adding these types of sauces to it, that one was tomato sauce based and vinegar and no sugar. I don't add no sugars to it. And there again, you get to the point where it's got a great flavor. So I might need a tune-up. Okay. So we're going to scoot over to the stove here a little bit. I'm going to add this in to this pot. A little bit of a closer look. Now, this got a little tang to it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this down a little bit further. And then once it heats the consistency that I want, I will put the immersion blender in it and try to liquefy it up a little bit more. So, now I've been showing, past couple videos, I've been showing this stuff here. Now this is red pepper flake, okay, in olive oil. All right. This stuff is pretty hot. It's that kind of thing that sneaks up on you. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the oil. Cook that up. All right. All right, this thing's bubbling away here. I'm going to lower the heat. Matter of fact, I'm just going to shut it off until I get this part of it done because I don't want to splatter and I don't want to get burned. Now, as you can see, the consistency right now is chunky. Okay. I tasted it. It does have a little bit of a kick, so let's not say nothing to Marie. And I'm going to insert the immersion blender. Okay, I add a little bit of Bragg's apple cider vinegar to it. Okay, and that loosens it up quite a bit. And I'm going to call this baby done right here. Ready to make your own sauce. Okay, I'll leave the recipe in here. This is very good, no sugar. It's just the natural flavors of peppers and all the ingredients that I put in there. This is off the charts good. Okay. I'd like the intro on that one. Well, it's going back 3 years, how times have changed. Okay. Basically, the whole idea is we got to kick that sugar uh, craving. All right. So now I can remember as a kid going and having spare ribs, and it wasn't drenched in a sweet sauce. Matter of fact, it was a little tangy and did have a little heat to it. It wasn't as sweet. So over time, in order to sell more barbecue sauces, they made it more shelf stable. Also added a lot more sugars to it, and that started to where we are today with some like Sweet Baby Ray's and other bunch of uh, barbecue sauces from back in the day. I'm going to Pitmasters was like the original one to start with, and what they did was that is just right now just a sweet bomb. That's basically all it is. So trying to get rid of the sugar is what you want to do. But here's a couple other ones I'm going to show you. Yeah, they're starting to look real good. I'm just going to check them real fast. You might have to go back in. Okay, these ribs are I think they're just about done. I mean, nice pull. A nice pull apart from the bone a little bit. Seasoning stayed on pretty good. But I'm gonna add my homemade pepper barbecue sauce, my chili barbecue sauce on. Now, this is what I'm talking about, playing with your food. I love doing stuff like this because you know what? I know for a fact there's no sugar added. There is no additives that are put on here for shelf stable. All right. Especially with me with type 2 diabetes. Now, trying to keep myself above getting sick and staying away from the doctor, this is what I have to do. Now, that sauce came out pretty good. Now, I'm going to be able to put this in a jar. I'll be able to keep it for a week or so because I do have vinegar in it and it'll stay. But I don't think it's going to last that long, honestly. All right. I usually grab it by my hands. I must be getting soft to my old age. Look at that. This joker is done right on. Cut these up. We're going to give them a try. Now I'm just going to put a little bit more on. Because this does have a little bit of a afterburn to it. Now I'm going to retaste it. Actually, she's getting pretty good with the hot stuff. It's not that hot. It does have a little afterburn to it. But you can tell, yeah, and you also can taste the sweetness of the mini bell peppers. Okay. And also I think being that the zucchini was in there, I think that it also helped soften it up. All right, we're going to take these to the table and we're going to chow down. Nice ribs. I'm going to give one of these bad boys a try right here. I'm going to go to the far end of it, the little fat piece. I'm going to give this a shot right here. I mean, you can see just how tender it is. The flavor of the sauce that I made, I tell you, is unbelievable. A little based on Carolina, but I decided to put the hot peppers in it. And I'll tell you what, very good. I will be making this again. I will post the recipe. Gotta give it a try. Now, like I said, it has a little back bite of heat, but not overwhelmingly hot at all. Okay, there you go. Catch you next time when we do just ribs. I hope you got something out of this here. Just to figure out the sugar part of it is what's really the problem. You don't need it. So just stop and think about this for 1 minute. So when you make a roast in the oven and you make a gravy, do you add sugar to it? Not necessarily. When you have a nice piece of chicken, egg it, flour it, all right, or pork rind to keep it keto, saute it up, and then you make a nice lemon butter garlic sauce. Great flavor, isn't it? You add sugar to it? Nope, you don't. So learn to cook with wines. You can actually cook with some alcohol. I make a nice, delicious bourbon sauce, and it gives you that sense that it's sweet, but it's not. Now, is there sugar in there? Yes, there is, but not enough that's going to somebody like me to throw me into a tizzy or raise my blood sugar that high. So you can manipulate different things. Don't need the sugar. So make a sauce. All right, try it out. If you're not type 2 diabetic, you can try to make it something with an apple. A lemon and lime sauce is like phenomenal. So you don't necessarily always need a barbecue sauce, a sweet barbecue sauce. Make a nice vinegar based. Take some fennel. Use your cupboard. Use what you have up in your cupboard, up in your pantry, all right, as far as different spices. Taste it. That's what I always say. Play with your food. It's not rocket science. When you make something really good and it's satisfying, makes you feel much better. Let's put it that way. All right, everybody, listen. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try to combine a little bit more of this together, different sauces and ways to get around it. And don't beat yourself up because, well, that don't sound keto or that's not keto. Make yourself feel good. Hit that like, subscribe button. See you next week. Take care.